This is a saxophone, and this is a saxophone mouthpiece, the part you blow into. The sound is created by the vibration of a reed that gets attached to the mouthpiece. You probably already knew that, but did you know that the mouthpiece has a greater impact on the sound that comes out than the instrument itself? You're unlikely to hear much of a difference when a saxophone player changes instrument, but a change in mouthpiece can make an enormous difference that anyone could notice. Crafting high-quality saxophone mouthpieces is a delicate mixture of precision science and acoustic art, and at the JodyJazz factory in Savannah, Georgia, they're making some of the world's finest mouthpieces using cutting-edge technology combined with musical expertise. We're going to learn step by step how these incredible tools are made from scratch by machine and human hands. We start with bar stock in a few different materials. Here we have German hard rubber, aluminum, and bell brass. The first step is to cut the bar stock into blanks using this lathe machine. This mouthpiece blank is soon to become a BetterSax Burn-In 5 alto mouthpiece. This is a 5-axis CNC machine which runs a highly detailed program. Combined with very sophisticated software, this machine basically acts as a 3D printer in reverse, where instead of laying material down, it removes material from the mouthpiece blank we started with. The liquid being sprayed everywhere is a coolant. It keeps the mouthpiece from heating up too much as it's being cut and helps wash away the cuttings at the same time. This is Zach, who's an engineer at JodyJazz. He's going to run a basic mouthpiece program without the coolant just so we can get a better look at the process. The 5-axis capability of the machine allows it to cut extremely intricate shapes and designs, performing a dance-like operation that is a marvel to watch. It's worth noting here that in order to get the accuracy and consistency for a top-tier saxophone mouthpiece, these machines need to run very slowly. Each mouthpiece takes between 20 and 30 minutes to complete its program on the CNC machine. To make a BetterSax Burn-In mouthpiece, the machine does 3 passes. The first is called a rough cut. In addition to doing the logo engraving, it carves out these steps inside the mouthpiece, setting us up for the next pass, which is the semi-finish. On the final finishing pass, the tip, rails, and beak get shaped to a high level of precision. This is what the Burn-In mouthpiece looks like straight off the machine. It is absolutely playable right now, and there are other mouthpieces available on the market that are sold like this, straight off the lathe with no human hand finishing. But at the JodyJazz factory, we're only just getting started. The rest of the steps are all done by highly trained and skilled mouthpiece technicians. You see, to get a really great playing mouthpiece that sings, there is a level of fine detail that CNC machines are still not capable of. For that, we need human hands and expertise. Once the mouthpiece comes off the CNC machine, the interior of the tip gets filed by hand. Each mouthpiece design has its own unique requirements, and the only place to learn exactly how to do this work is with on-the-job training. Sebastian is working on a JodyJazz metal DV mouthpiece. The first step is to cut in the corners at the tip rail. Next, he carefully files the tip rail down. He's going to finish it with fine-grained sandpaper in order to achieve a uniform thickness of 25/1000ths of an inch. Lots more handwork goes into the sidewalls and the rest of the mouthpiece at these stations. This is Chris, who trains JodyJazz team members in the art of hand-finishing mouthpieces. That whiteboard behind him, it's his Mouthpiece University, where he illustrates the finer points of the craft. Once the mouthpiece interior has been expertly hand-finished, it's time to work on the exterior. This is Robbie, who's working on some BetterSax burn-in mouthpieces. His job is to remove any marks left on the outside by the machine and to give it that beautiful hand-finished look. He's going to use 3 different grades of sandpaper on these, getting finer and finer with each pass. Now it's time for the finishing touches. A lot more handwork goes into making these mouthpieces than many people realize. This is Kristen, who is hand-painting this batch of BetterSax burn-in mouthpieces. First, she applies the gold paint, and once it dries, she will carefully remove the excess, all the while looking for any imperfections that would need to be corrected. Once painted, each mouthpiece gets treated with food-grade mineral oil, which helps protect the hard rubber and give it a beautiful dark color. If you have hard rubber mouthpieces that have faded to a more gray or brown color, try applying some oil from the kitchen. I use olive oil on mine, which works great. Finally, she applies our clear mouthpiece patch over the top. Looks like we've got a finished mouthpiece now, right? Not quite. We have arrived at what is perhaps the most important step in the entire process, the playtesting. There is only so much we can see with the naked eye, and since the tolerances here are measured in thousandths of inches, no mouthpiece leaves the factory before it gets played by Jody himself or one of his testing team. Combined with all the precision work, very tight tolerances, and dedication to delivering the absolute best mouthpieces available anywhere, this final playtesting step ensures that every customer is getting a beautiful, flawless mouthpiece that plays just like the original design. The system here ensures the highest quality and consistency every time, and that is why I chose to work with JodyJazz for the high-end BetterSax mouthpieces. Thanks to modern technology, we can now produce a range of different mouthpiece designs that are highly specialized and refined to match a diverse palette of sound concepts. The process of creating these designs is very involved, though. There are many variables that each have countless possibilities, leading to basically infinite options when designing mouthpieces. Here's the thing, though. Only a small percentage of those designs will even work to produce a satisfactory sound, and finding the magic combinations that result in the finest musical tools, well, that requires decades of experience, refined musical taste, hard work, and a lot of trial and error. The design process starts with an idea. For the burn-in mouthpiece, I told Jody I wanted a pretty steep rollover baffle that curved into a deep chamber, with the idea of getting a sound that had power and edge while also offering warmth and control at the same time. Many iterations were designed, built, and tested, each with variations in the mere thousandths of inches, before we arrived at the final burn-in mouthpiece design available today. And it's not just the sound the mouthpiece produces that's important. We also factor in airflow, ease of play, comfort, how well reeds pair with the facing, and more when choosing the final version. Today, Jody is working on a Russo baritone mouthpiece design. He and Zach have several candidates with very slight variations.
I can feel that. Yeah. Better? I think so.
The final step in the design process involves a lot of playtesting. Keep in mind that this process is done with a single tip opening starting out. Once that design is finalized, it has to be recreated for the other tip openings. This is not just a simple matter of making the tip opening larger or smaller. Every minute change to the design, especially near the tip, can result in a change in character of the sound. So, making a mouthpiece that plays with a consistent sound profile across multiple tip openings is another challenge in itself. As I'm working on this video, I just received tip opening prototypes for the BetterSax burn-in soprano mouthpiece that I need to test out. It has been an amazing experience working with Jody Espina and his team on these mouthpiece designs. I've always been a fan of JodyJazz mouthpieces, but I truly feel that the burn-in designs are some of their very best work to date. I'm extremely proud of these, and once this soprano mouthpiece design is finalized, we will have completed the burn-in family of hard rubber mouthpieces, and that's worth celebrating. We're not done yet, though. Our next project is the burn-in metal mouthpiece which I'm super excited for. Stay tuned for updates on that, and watch this video next to learn more about how saxophone mouthpieces work acoustically and how the various parts affect the sound.